Hi there, got a card today for the men in your life. This would work perfect for all sorts of men. If you just change the dad to put their name on there, you could adapt it for teenage boys, all sorts of things like that. I'll show you what we'll be using. We have the Shadow Box accessory kit called Your Star, and this is all sorts of sporting things. We're going to be using the actual Shadow Box from the In the Garden set. Our wording has been done with the Art Deco alphabet, the uppercase. And we're going to create a little frame using the stitched lattice frames. These have been designed to work with the shadow boxes. Okay, let's pop these to the side. So the first thing I want to do is cut my frame from my shadow box. Now, like I said, this is the gardening one, so it comes with gardening accessories there, but these can be used for all sorts of other things. And there are a whole bunch of different accessory kits that you can get to go with it. So we'll just center this into some blue card here. Pop that down. And the other thing is that you know, if you have a favorite sports team, you could certainly change these colors to reflect that. I've just picked some red and blue and white because I thought they were nice together. Now this shadow box has been designed a tiny bit differently in that I have put the cutting edges on it already, so it's already going to be fixed to cut out every single time. Some of the earlier ones had them separately so you could mat and layer, so it's just a little bit different, so it saves a little bit more time if you know you want all of your boxes to cut out. Pop that in place. There we go. So now I'm going to switch over to one. I've added some mounting foam to the back because you want to raise it to get that dimension so you have those little shadow boxes. And we are going to give it a red backing. So I've put a little bit of rich red card onto the back here. Just peel off all of our mounting foam. Oops. And I always suggest to go and put some on all the little borders so there's not any parts of your card that will sag. Just couple more here. There we go. I think I'll just pop that in place right like that. So you can see I've got a red background showing through, so it really is going to pop out anything that you put in those boxes. And then we will pop it into place on our backing. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. Center that. I've gone ahead and pierced around the edge of some white card. I've added the red and the blue as a mat just to tie it all in. So now I've got the whole beginning sorted out. So next thing I want to do is add a little frame. So I've just used the stitched lattice frames here with the two smallest ones, and I've cut a small white frame. So I've got that coming right back in as well. A little bit of mounting foam. I'm just going to use one layer here all the way around. And just raise it up ever so slightly. And I've cut it so that the blue will show on the inside and the outside a little bit. So let me just lean in and center it. There we go. Drop that down. Just gives you a multi-layer frame that I think adds some dimension. So the next thing we want to do is fill the little areas. So I'm going to do a bit of cutting. We'll bring in our sports accessory kit and we'll cut several of these. So a little bit of white card. In fact, I'll bring it down here and we can just pop it into place. We can probably do all of these about at the same time. And I'm going to cut the tennis racket. I'll pop that into place. And the football/rugby ball, depending on which side of the pond you're on. There we go. And we'll do the golf club on the black. Okay, so we can do all of these in one fell swoop. Pop those down. There we go. Okay, so let's bring these back over. Oops, that one's popped out. There we go. And this one. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of inking. So I think we will start with our brown rugby/football ball here. And let me just remove the tape. I want to make sure it gets into there. It's covering just a little bit of that still. Hang on. Okay, set those to the side. So I'm going to use some Cosmic Shimmer Color Cloud, and this is Decadent Oak. So I'm going to bring in a smoothie and a little bit of ink. That should be about the right shade, and we can just pop that right over that. Give it a little bit of color. Ink through that. Prefer to add a little bit as I go and make sure I've got it to the right intensity rather than getting it too dark. I think that's going to work. So I've got a nice little rugby ball there. So we can add a tiny bit of mounting foam to the back of that. And we'll raise it up for a little bit of dimension. That should fit on there. So we can add that into square number 1 at the top here. I'm going to put a little bit of an angle. Pop that one back onto our plate. And let's do our soccer/football, depending on which side of the pond you're on. And I'm just going to use a black felt tip for this, and we'll just go through and fill these in. And a couple more spaces. Let me turn it and keep it in the die there so we can use that as the guide. Okay. And then if you've got a little bit, like I've missed just a little spot right there, I can kind of fill that in. So that one is done. Bring over a little bit more of our mounting foam. And we can pop that on there. I'm going to double it up to raise it. Okay, there we go. That can go up in this corner. I've already done one of the number 1s. We're going to put a little bit, got a little bit of mounting foam. I'm going to pop that in the center there. Fill in that one. Next, I'm going to do the tennis racket. So I'm just going to pop that back into the die, and we're going to add a little bit of ink to the handle there. I'll just use the same Decadent Oak just to give a little color to that. Pop that back onto our plate. And I've got the tennis ball right there, so we're going to add some glue to this, and we can pop that into place. One little bit, there we go. Okay, a little bit of the fine line glue right onto the back. We'll use the long thin box here. Give that a second, and a little bit on the tennis ball. Pop that right down next to it. Okay, and the golf club. Now on the golf club, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over a piece of copy paper here. There we go. And a silver paint pen. And I'm just going to paint the bottom of this part silver. Just like this. Make that look metallic. Let that dry for a second. I have a few others that I've done. So we'll go ahead and glue them into place. A little bit here and here. Just get a hold of it. And I'm going to put a couple of these in here because they're kind of long and thin. There's that. And every golfer has more than one club that they use, so I figured a couple of these into the space would be perfect. And let's do this one. A little bit here and there. Offset that one a tiny bit like that. And of course you've got to have the golf ball with it, so we'll just pop that, a little bit of glue right there. Put that into place with those. And then the last section, we're going to use the words. Now I've gone ahead and cut Dad out of the Art Deco alphabet. So let's just put a little bit of glue on the first D. We'll center that off to the side like that. And I think I'll put the second one in and then center the A in the middle of it. There we go. Like I said, you could actually put somebody's name in here. You could actually put it onto a strip that comes out from the edge. There's so many different things you can do with these shadow boxes. They're very handy. Pop the A in there. And there's the Your A Star that comes in the set, and I'm going to put that right below there. Tiny bit of glue around. And that will finish off the bottom. There we go. I think that's an absolutely gorgeous card that any man would really adore. Nothing girly at all there. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video and you've seen some of the uses for the shadow box.